Ultimate Warrior, did you have his first match in the WWF? Or I'm
Holy shit!
misremembering.
First 47 matches. Like when you watch that, what is it? Dark Side of Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everything about it is negativity. I have nothing but positive things to say about the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior came in as a dingo, the Dingo Warrior. He wasn't a star at all. They put him with me. He wrestled me 47 consecutive days, knocked me out twice by accident. Had nothing. He had nothing. He was all he had was run to the ring, shake the ropes, do this, do that. But I got a friendship with him. I had a friendship with him. They have never. They weren't sure they were going to make him a star or not. One day, they decided we're going to change his name from Dingo. What the hell is a dingo? He didn't even know what a dingo was. They changed it to Ultimate Warrior. Now they start building him, but they keep me with him. I keep wrestling him and wrestling him and wrestling him. So one of the agents or producers, whatever they call them, they change the words all the time. They came up to me and they said, we're going to have you beat Ultimate Warrior tonight. He says, to test his attitude. We want to see how he reacts to you beating him. So me being the friend that I was to him, I took him in a room and I said, Jim, I said, they're going to test you tonight. They're going to ask you to lose to me. Say yes, anything you want. That's what I told him. And he did it. And he let me beat him. So that tested his attitude. He passed that test. Now, if he would have went, shit, fuck, I am not going to beat it. He can't beat me. He's going to destroy me. He's going to do that. He's going to do that. Which could have been the obvious reaction at that time because he was a big, giant star. He was an up-and-coming star. But the funny part about it was the thing about that, and they never showed anything on that show, that Dark Side of Wrestling with me wrestling Ultimate Warrior. They didn't tell you about those stories. They didn't tell you about the time that they told you about the negativity where he became a bad businessman and he Vince wouldn't work with him and they were on the outs. And I'm running the interview room. They told me to make a tape with negativity saying how bad he was. His interviews were terrible. This was terrible. So I would sit the wrestler down. I would sit in a chair adjacent to him, and I would ask him the questions like you're asking me questions right now. Now they were burying him. So what I did all the time was I would sit in a chair myself, and I would say the question out loud, and I would answer my own question, and I talked good about him. So he was on bad terms with WWE, and they wanted him in the Hall of Fame, so they got on good terms with WWE. I walked into so I'm in the Hall of Fame now. He's in his own private dressing room. I walked into the dressing room. He started crying. He goes, "Fuck! I was just thinking about you." He goes, "I was thinking about that story where you told me that they were going to have you beat me, and you smartened me up, so I did the right thing. Be prepared to stand up tonight because I'm going to tell that story in front of everyone." I said, "Jim, you'll bury me. I'm working for the company. If you say that, they're going to say we can't tell Lombardi anything. He's a stooge." You know what I mean? He told him, he smartened him up. He goes, "Fuck. That was 30 years ago." He goes, "It doesn't matter." I said, "It does matter because I still work here." So that would have been nice in that story. Excuse me. so he said, "Well, stand up anyway." So in the Hall of Fame, which they never showed that either, he said, "Steve Lombardi in the audience, please stand up." I stood up and he said, "Steve took a lot of my abuse and he always kept a great attitude about it." Now, that's a positive statement. Don't put that in that wrestling show because that's positive. You can't say something positive. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then his interview before he died. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah.
"When the Ultimate Warrior's heart stops beating, the legacy will remain. I mean, it's almost like he predicted he was going to die in a day or two. I actually took a picture with him the day before he died, shaking his hand.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it was ironic that he made that interview and he died. I mean, it's incredible. But I have a lot of, I say it on every podcast.
You said he knocked you out twice. How did he do both of those times?
Well, we're doing moves. I did a little chain wrestling. I put him into a reverse hammerlock. Do you know what that is?
Yep.
A hammerlock. He would elbow me to the head, but he would elbow me to the temple. But when he did it, it was real. You know, it was real. He really laid it in. And when you get hit in the temple a certain way, you get knocked out cold. And when you get knocked out cold, you're out only like 2 or 3 seconds, but then you feel like you're out an hour. You know, but he didn't do it on purpose. So I don't hold it against him. But I wrestled him and wrestled him and wrestled him and wrestled him. He would run to the ring and he would shake those ropes. You would pound on him. I knew his strength was the electricity, the charisma, the excitement. I knew he couldn't come off the top rope. I knew he couldn't do this. So what I did, I concentrated on that. I would hit him. I would hit him in the back, hit him in the back, hit him in the back. He would start shaking, keep pounding him. Then he starts shaking the ropes. Then I start backing up. Then he starts beating the shit out of me. Then he picks me up, drops me, splashes me. I mean, I knew how to handle him. You know what I mean? He was limited in his ability.
There's one more thing. There's one more thing as well, because I think Ken Shamrock last year sat in that very chair, and he said, "Well, I actually had a dart match in the WWF around '89, whenever it was, just when you were becoming Brooklyn Brawler, in fact." And he said one day he was at the gorilla position, and he saw Ultimate Warrior passed out completely, just in the gorilla position, with everybody just stepping over him because he just gassed out over the after his match. I was wondering if you've ever seen Ultimate Warrior actually passed out.
I never seen him physically pass out unconscious, but I did see him breathing so heavy. He had no stamina. He would always get winded, but he ran full speed to the ring, shaking the ropes, the excitement in the ring. You know what I mean? I could see why he did, but he did have no cardiovascular at all. It was all muscles.
Old School Pro Wrestling has asked, on the Warrior Self-Destruction DVD, you said on it, do you still believe that Warrior became a total package by 1990? So by the time he became WWF champion, do you think he'd gained enough experience? Do you think he was basically good enough to hold the company, be at the top of the company to wrestle all challenges?
Yes, that would be around the time where he beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. Is that correct?
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yes, that's one of the things I said on the DVD. I believe that he had all the tools at the time. What the tools are were the look, the charisma, the draw ability, if that's a word. He would draw money. Now, what's a good worker? Is a good worker a guy that comes off the top rope and does a move, or is a good worker that puts the asses in the seats?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To me, a good worker is a man that draws money.